She's the founder of The Secret Vibe. Sounds like something you'd buy in an adult shop. Just saying.
The only way I can get money out is by onboarding new people.
You have to, yeah. And I'll tell you what.
Where did my money go?
Sorry?
Where did my money go? Where did my investment go? My principal.
It's still in HyperVerse.
Yeah. Right, now we're on to the love coach. Let's hear what Valerie's about to say.
I cut it out and I pasted it on my wall.
She got back in bed with the devil, which is HyperNation. And
we ask ourselves, who am I? Who am I?
I'm the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, striking again.
You are a child of God. You're playing small, doesn't serve the world.
Stop there, Valerie. I'm not a child of God. Did I tell you I was brought up in a religious cult? And these techniques that these people use are the same as a religious cult. And that's why I hate them.
It's not just in some of us. It's in all of us.
Hallelujah.
Others.
Let my light shine.
So it's really about knowing the truth of who you are.
Who are you, Valerie? And then all of a sudden you've got involved with a company that sells memberships, promising people unrealistic rewards.
Would help me and help some of my investor friends. And I wonder what you all think about this.
This will be good.
Is if there are ways to demonstrate some transparency about the health of the business. For example, if there are ways to share with members, revenue or profit or sources of income.
Are you shitting me? Valerie. Yes, you've guessed it. Valerie A Campbell. Oh, shouldn't say her last name. Got to remember the privacy of these scammers, don't you? Well, I'm about to go out for dinner, and I thought I'd be a bit naughty and just sneak in a bit of a recording. So I might break this into two parts. I'm wondering if you'll notice when I come back for the second part. Anyway, this is leadership training with the Hyper community, and lots have been happening since I've last been here. And I just wanted to finish off November the 26th leadership training. Now, we had the blurry suckerfish lady who set the tone for the whole meeting, and you can see that about 10 videos back. And then we had Tracy the truck driver, who'd been a truck driver for 32 years, and he lived by the book. Not that book. No, it was the book, the logbook. And he was leading the hyper community with some insights. Everyone that's involved in leadership training actually has their own business and their own agenda. So first of all, if you don't know who I am, I'm Danny DeHeck, and the New York Times actually called me the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger. And I'm on a crusade to name and shame anyone that is out there preaching the message of these Ponzi schemes. So if you're not following with HyperVerse, it's now been rebranded to HyperCosmos. Well, not quite, because there's another company that runs alongside it now called HyperNation. And we go all the way back, right back to Bitcoin Group. Then it turned into HyperCapital. Then it turned into HyperFund. And then it turned into HyperVerse. And then it turned into HyperNation and HyperCosmos. And I think I probably even forgot one. But anyway, in that course of time, there's all sorts of rumors, but there's meant to be 1.5 million people that invested their money in this Ponzi scheme. And they were promised that if they invested their money, they would get 3 times their money in rewards. And then halfway through, they changed it to 4 times their money, but then instead of waiting 600 days, you had to wait 1,330 days. But no one noticed and worked that out mathematically. That would never happen. And then all of a sudden, all the money's gone and everyone's got their hands up, and they're all upset. And the reality of it is people are still hanging on to hope. They think that they're going to get their money back. So when I see these leaders standing on the stage preaching to all these people in the hyper community that there's still hope they can get their money back, there's a parallel. And it's like they're on the Titanic. And I'm looking from the life raft and I can see the ship is sinking. And everyone's on the life raft except a few people that haven't got the memo. So I get back onto the Titanic and I bust my way into the conference room where there's 3 people on the stage. And this week we had blurry fish, sucker fish lady. I get it. You'll get it. Watch the video. And then Tracy. And now we've got Valerie. And Valerie is a love coach. I don't even have any music for love coach. No, that's jail. Anyway, I do have elephants. So let's have a look. We'll go in and I'll tell you what I'm doing here with this page here. This is Millernote, and this is where I'm actually been gathering as much information as I can about each person. So with Valerie, I found out that she used to have a company. She launched a book all about love coaching, and a year later, she dissolved the company. So she doesn't even have a company, which is a bit of a pity because it's easier to go after people who have a company. So we've got her phone number. I've got her Twitter handle, Telegram handle, I've got her email address, I've got her website, I've got a LinkedIn, I've got a Facebook, and I've also got a few informants that have given me a bit of information about her and the like. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my other screen, bring it in here, and I'm just going to go through some of the stuff about Valerie that we may want to know, just so in case you're doing business with this person. We've got this guy who did a video about Valerie, and I've actually wrote a comment in there saying Valerie is a scammer. She is promoting HyperVerse, which is a well-known Ponzi scheme. I've spelled that wrong. Ooh, I've got to just edit that. I've done it now. What have I done? I've stuffed it up. Anyway, I'm going to go back there. And I hate spelling mistakes. Being dyslexic, it's the worst thing I can do. Anyway, so here's Valerie's website, and there's one of her books. I think she's got two. There's some royalty-free images. And looking at her website, she's not very proactive. She hasn't really done much with it. She's got some lovely photos, and she's a relationship coach. And you can contact Valerie if you are feeling like you are not loved. And she's got a book that you can buy, and she's got a blog, and her website does not look like she's done much with it. So then I did find some other information about her, but normal stuff. It looks like somebody who's tried to be an author, wrote a book, and hasn't really got anywhere with it, which is unfortunate. So now they turn to promoting Ponzi schemes. And if you go through here, you can see her last post was July the 29th, 2021. So she's obviously dropped her idea of her business and gone after the money. And she does have a few lovely things that she can award people with if you watch this one. Oh, yeah. Well, that's exciting. All right, I'm not going to do that.
Listening to Valerie
she's still going.
A Campbell, founder of The Secret Vibe.
She's the founder of The Secret Vibe. Sounds like something you'd buy in an adult shop, just saying. She's on Twitter. She's on LinkedIn. And she's on, what do they call that thing? Instagram. And this photo was 26 weeks ago. She's not really rampant on social media, but boy, is this lady rampant on promoting HyperVerse or HyperFund. Oh, where has it gone? Hold it. We've got problems here, Houston. 1 minute, please, caller. 1 minute, please, caller. Put that back over there for later in case we have to go back to that. And where is my video? My video's gone. Oh, my goodness, how embarrassing. 1 minute, please, caller. Let's go into the HyperCommunity area. Let's find our video with Valerie. Right-click on that. Open with Quick Player. And boom, look at that. Oh, she's a bit big there, isn't she? Let me adjust that. Oh, I hate it when this goes wrong. Okay, over to Valerie. We're going to make her just the right size so she fits in that little spot. Now, I will have a bit of a disclaimer here. You might think I'm a heartless bastard going after these people, but we do have the blurry face suckerfish lady. She set the tone for the meeting this week. And unfortunately, the blurry suckerfish, that's complicated, the blurry-faced lady who doesn't want her face on social media, she talked about a person that was like her father dying. And then Tracy come on, he stayed on target and talked about his trucking business, and he had 7 trucks. And then Valerie come on here and told us a really heart-wrenching story, which I have 100% empathy for her. And I'll have a bit of a disclaimer here. I've had 2 people in my immediate family commit suicide. She talks about somebody in this. So if you have any concerns about listening to sensitive information, I wouldn't recommend watching this video of mine. If you go into my YouTube channel, you will find a video talking about contemplating suicide. And that is a professional who's come along, been on my podcast, and it's there to help people. Because this is one of the reasons I'm actually putting my neck out, is I actually honestly feel that people losing all their money to a Ponzi scheme is something that can push people over the edge. And so I've put information on there as possible. But the other reason why I give these people a lot of hard time is because they're actually preaching their own message for their own selfish gain. They'll use any tactic that they can to form a relationship with you so that you have peace of mind and you think these people surely wouldn't scam me. And that is a myth. They are out there to scam you. So I'm going to get started here. This is quite a good story, but these people, I believe, are actually at the top of their game and using every trick under the sun to convince you that what they say is authentic. And I don't believe it for a minute. So I have no empathy for anything they say, and I'm going to take the mickey out of anyone who thinks they can carry on scamming people in this modern world. And isn't it great that old Sam Bankman-Fried is actually now back in the USA pressing criminal charges, and all his Cloonies look like they're going to go down with him. So these Ponzi scheme people who've been promoting these Ponzi schemes have been riding on the pig's back or the horse's back for quite a long time. And now people like me are naming and shaming them. And that's why I'm building up a database about people like Valerie, because when authorities come along, I want to say, here's all the evidence that these guys have actively been promoting Ponzi schemes. There's no way that they don't think this isn't a Ponzi scheme. There's no product or service. The other thing I'll do a rant before I get started is if you go to tehek.com, you can go to the Contact Us page and you can actually tell us, I'm going to show you, you can actually notify me of anything that you think is dubious or anyone that's promoting these Ponzi schemes. I want to know about it. So on my website, you'll see a contact button. If you click on that, you'll get a form and you can give me information anonymous. I'm actually working with people who can submit information to the authorities. So if you want to be kept anonymous, let us know and your name will be 100% anonymous all the way through. But we have a form on the website where you can submit names, any information you want to help stop these cyber crimes. The other thing I'd really value your support with, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see I've done over 150 videos on promoting Ponzi schemes, and the power of your mouse is much, it really helps us get these videos out. If you click the like button and you subscribe and hit the bell, it will actually tell YouTube you like my video and you like my content, and it will send these videos out to people. 50% of the traffic that comes from my videos actually comes from YouTube pushing these videos to people after they've watched another video. So by clicking that thumbs up button on the video, even if you want to remain anonymous, please do. And I'm just going to play one of my most favorite clips, because this is about HyperCosmos. And you have a look at some of my shorts on my YouTube channel. Listen to this one if you can.
Is it possible to get the principal out that I put in, my capital? Or no? So that was just
the only way it can be done. So
the only way I can get money out is by onboarding new people.
You have to, yeah. And I'll tell you what.
Where did my money go?
Sorry?
Where did my money go? Where did my investment go? My principal.
It's still in HyperVerse. It will move over to HyperCosmos.
Yeah, so I have to onboard people into this new thing, which
exactly.
I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that with people, given my experience with HyperVerse.
Okay, so you have a choice. Then here's your choice. All the money that's in there, just walk away, forget about it, because you're never going to get it.
So I never get the money.
You'll never get the money. The only way you will get paid is this way. And the reason is
taking other people's money and putting them on the line to risk losing all of their money.
Leland, I'm not going to get into an argue with you in my room here. If you're not happy with it, please leave and then get your information elsewhere. But I'm not here to cause an argument with anybody. I'm here to rely the information that I know of what's going on. If you're not happy about it, there's nothing I can do. I'm just the messenger.
I think you're misunderstanding the question.
All right, so why that is breathtaking, why it's relevant to this video, if you do go to my, I've just released this video that you're about to see 2 days ago, right? And it is actually that very video of Carl. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Oh, I might be able to pronounce his last name. 1 minute, please, caller.
Carl Haavaldsen. Carl Haavaldsen.
Say it twice. And it's a breathtaker. But basically, everyone's been promised that they're going to get their money out of HyperVerse, and then they've created this new thing called HyperCosmos, and everyone was going to filter their money through there. Now they tell you that you can't get your money out unless you recruit people. Now, the thing is, if you recruit somebody, you get 50% of the money that you recruit. It is just, and then people are asking, well, what are we actually selling? He's going, oh, you're selling packages to people that when they sell them, they get 50% commission. And the only thing he could come up with was that people were getting access to the academy that they used to build up HyperVerse, which is all outdated and a heap of shit anyway, because people like Valerie are in there actually preaching their message and pushing their own products, their own coaching service, their love coach services. And then you've got Coach Brittany, who's promoting her community and her things. They're all trying to look after themselves. So basically, at the end of the day, we got this video and we put it online. Carl, the guy that actually published this video on his Vimeo account, has now taken the video off, and he claims that he is no longer going to be promoting HyperCosmos because he doesn't believe there's anything there substantial. Even though he did a big crusade about how wonderful it is, it was the best Ponzi scheme he's seen in his whole life, blah, 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 in front of his audience, and it was all on YouTube, and it's everywhere. The H community on YouTube put it out there, and he was fuming. He's going to do copyright strikes and the whole 9 yards. And now he's come out with another video basically saying he's not doing anything with it. Now, I'm just going to show you something interesting. If you are on my YouTube channel and you go up to the top right-hand side, there's a button there that says Odyssey. And if you go to Odyssey, this is actually all ran from the blockchain, would you believe? Which means that I can put more sensitive information on here in videos. So if you go in here, you can actually see the original video of him. And I think this is where the other community actually got it from. Here it is here. So I've had 220 views of this video of him telling everyone how wonderful the HyperCosmos is. And he breaks it all down for people. And a long story short, he's now done a renege video. And that was the video I actually wanted to show you. But anyway, I'm not going to distract. I'm going to get straight into it in a minute. Where's the video? Oh, here it is. So he's come out and he's done another video basically explaining that he stuffed up and he didn't know what he was talking about, even though he came out and he said he had 100% clarity. This guy actually had nothing to do. This is why we like YouTube, because it plays the videos a lot longer. You can see
recommend
that.
If you
yeah, so here he is here, and he's basically backing up the bus, and he wishes he never published the video. But people like me grabbed the video and did a voiceover, so do check that out if you're on my YouTube channel. And as I said, please do subscribe. You'll be notified when the next video comes out. Right, now we're on to the love coach. Let's hear what Valerie's about to say. Let's get into this while I can.
I hope my lighting's okay. Earlier on, Dale says, as long as you can see my teeth. Oh, my eyes. Okay. Oh wow. You know, Jackie asked me earlier. She said, Valerie, what's the title of your talk? And I had to kind of just say it on the fly. And I decided to call it Limited to Unlimited. And it always amazes me how God works, and you'll see why. Because again, there's that word synchronicity, right? Everything is just lined up. All the dots are just lined up together.
And I must say, I really don't like the fact that they bring God into everything they do. They go after the Black African community. They target people who have religious beliefs, and they interlace all their scams and Ponzi schemes around the idea that you've got to have faith, you've got to have a belief. And they also paint a picture. It's like saying to somebody, it's like saying that when you die, you go off to heaven and you live in the clouds. They're the same. They're promising an ecosystem and a metaverse where, you know, if you invest in this company and you think long-term, you're going to get this awesome prize at the end. And at the end of the day, every time I hear them talk about God and the universe, it just makes me want to vomit in a bucket. Just saying. Back to Valerie.
And I thought about my particular talk because I had a few conversations in the week, and I just kind of thought, oh, if I could just break through the ceiling of that particular belief, you know, the ones that kind of hold you back from just being all of who you are. And I was thinking to myself, I'm still working on that every single day. And there was a poem that came to me. And I remember when I first came across this poem, I didn't fully understand the words. I couldn't understand the words, and I cut it out and I pasted it on my wall.
Just before she gets started, I've got to give you more of a background on Valerie A Campbell. She was actually in the hyper community, and she was going off at when HyperVerse was freezing all the money, and all her people under her team were literally complaining to her. And she's as a leader, they were asking her what she was doing about it. And she was jumping up and down. She was really rampant. It was like she was having an argument with a lover. Let's use it like that. And then all of a sudden, she got back in bed with the devil, which is HyperNation. And now she's rampantly promoting HyperNation. And still, her cause that she was fighting for was about HyperVerse that wasn't paying out people because they had no money. And now she's just forgot about all that and turned her back on all her people. And here she is in a leadership meeting telling people all about the wonderful HyperNation. And it's just honestly, when you've been following these videos as much as I have, it's absolutely breathtaking that they do this.
And I'm going to recite it to you before I actually go into my talk, but you know, the dots are all connected. And some of you may know it. It's called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. I'm going to ad-lib a little bit because that's what you do, right? So to recite, it says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond imagination. It is our light, not our darkness, that scares us.
You think she's reading it off another screen? I think she is. When you've been doing enough videos like I have, you subtly pick up on all this stuff. But anyway, it's not her poem, is it? Don't let me ruin her poem.
That frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I? Who am I?
I'm the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, striking again.
To be brilliant, beautiful, talented, and gorgeous.
That's moi.
But honestly, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small doesn't serve the world.
Stop there, Valerie. I'm not a child of God. I don't believe in that crap anymore. Sorry to anyone who does, but I'm definitely not a child of God. Actually, I think I'm the brother of Satan, because that's how I feel when I'm going after these Ponzi schemes. Well, imagine saying that. My mother, she's not dead yet, but she would turn in the grave if she was. She's a good staunch Jehovah's Witness. Did I tell you I was brought up in a religious cult, and these techniques that these people use are the same as a religious cult, and that's why I hate them. Keep reading it, Valerie.
There's nothing enlightened about shrinking. So
shrinking.
Other people around you will feel secure. We are all meant to shine as children do.
I'm shining because it's a friggin' hot day here in New Zealand, and it's warm. That's why I look like I'm sweating like I can't say that. It's not very good.
The glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in all of us.
Hallelujah!
And when we allow our light to shine, we unconsciously give permission for others to do the same. Awesome. When we liberate ourselves from our fears, our presence automatically liberates others.
Let my light shine.
Automatically liberates others.
Oh, hello.
And I remember when I heard that poem for the first time, I thought, why does it say that our light and that is what we're most frightened of? And I really had to take the time to kind of think about that, because as we move through life, we're indoctrinated with beliefs that suppress the truth of who we are. And the thing is, if you don't know who you are, how can you walk then in the energy of who you are?
She's so true. Who are you? Who are you? Who?
How can you do that if you don't know the truth about who you are? You're just kind of just flexing and just moving at the pace of the beliefs that you hold that are lies. So we're constantly having to work on these beliefs and just kind of like shifting it away and just breaking through these cobwebs until we can see the light. So it really is about, and there's that word again, it's about perspective. It's about having your mindset right, because I could sit here and I could give you all the steps and say, yes, this is what you do, and this is the amount of people you call, and this is the amount of averages, that you go through and you'll get through to someone. However, if your mindset is not right, and if you haven't got the beliefs that are in alignment with what you're trying to build, you're going to sabotage yourself.
Do you sabotage your own missions?
If you say, money is the root of all evil, you're going to sabotage yourself because unconsciously.
Now, let me correct you there, Valerie. Valerie, money is not the root of all evil. If you read the Bible properly, and if you're going to pretend you're some sort of minister, it's the love of money is the root of all evilness. Get your facts right, lady. If you're going to preach, do it right. The love of all money. Not money. Money's okay. It's just loving it. The greed. Back to you, Valerie.
And not consciously, you're thinking, well, money's not good. So even if you make it, you're going to end up getting rid of it.
Speak for yourself. I keep a $100 note in my wallet all the time. It's my lucky $100 note. Now, do I believe in luck? Not really, but I like having a $100 note in my wallet. We never have money these days, do we? No, just a stupid, meaningless story I thought I'd share with you while I'm waiting for... I've got to go for dinner soon. I've got 12 minutes left.
So it's really about knowing the truth of who you are. And the thing is, who are you?
The Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger.
You need a shift in perspective.
Who are you, Valerie? Are you a scammer? Are you building your downline? Are you hoping to profit and gain or build a community out of these people in this Zoom meeting that you're preaching to at the moment? This Zoom meeting was probably in front of about 1,800 people. Keith's been away for a wee while. Wonder if he's back yet. Who are you, Valerie? Why do you want to do this? I looked at your website and your book and your passion and your drive and what you're trying to do, and then all of a sudden you've got involved with a company that sells memberships, promising people unrealistic rewards, not paying out to them, people losing, people devastating. I spoke to one lady after being in the New York Times. She contacted me and she said she's in an organization that helps people fight Ponzi scheme. They have recorded 11 people who have committed suicide after being involved in a Ponzi scheme. You've got Blurry Fish Sucker Lady, you've got Tracy and yourself. Do you really want to have the blood of that on your hands because you are encouraging people to put their money in? You can't sit here and say that you aren't a financial advisor and this isn't financial advice and then continue to encourage people to be part of a Ponzi scheme. It doesn't make sense. You could be liable for people taking their own lives. Do you want that blood on your hands?
As we go through life, they say that experience is the biggest teacher. And moving from that mindset of limited to unlimited, I went through quite a profound experience that really kind of rocked my world. And again, this is where this synchronicity comes in.
So she is actually going to tell you one heartbreaking story. And my heart goes out to her for going through that. And I can probably understand why she wrote a book about love and how she's a dating coach, because she wants people to find their happiness, whether being in a relationship is what gives you happiness or you have happiness that is built from within. That's your choice. But if you have any suicidal tendencies or anything like that, I wouldn't recommend listening to this story. And I'm actually going to go ready for my dinner. I'm going to leave this playing because I have actually heard this before. But think of the lengths that these people will go to build a relationship with you, hoping that you will join their community and sign up for a monetary reward. This isn't out of love. This sort of stuff is out of hope that they will be able to get money from you. Now, these reward systems work this way. If this is how HyperVerse got so strong. If I referred somebody with $1,000, somebody signed up and paid in $1,000 straight away, I'd get $200 of that. And if they referred somebody, I would get an additional $150. And if they referred somebody and they referred somebody, I'd get an additional $100. And there was 52% of that $1,000 would go out in rewards before it actually landed on the doorstep of HyperVerse. And then I assume the people that are pumping and dumping the coins within HyperVerse is where the rest of that money would go. So recently what they're doing now, they've actually got more transparent in what they're doing. They've created a company called HyperCosmos. Now, HyperCosmos allows you to create a package. You can create a package for 100, 200, 5,000 if you want. If you manage to sell that to a friend, they will pay you. No one's got the money yet though. Allegedly, they will pay you 50% of whatever you're selling. So that this shows that this is a Ponzi scheme. Now, these people may be heartfelt, may have gone through one hell of an experience that you wish no one to go through, but they're still out there lining their own pockets, hoping that you will build faith in them and you will actually invest money in a Ponzi scheme so they get richer. It is disgusting. These people are the bottom feeders of the world.
We're all connected. We're all here. We're all sharing. And so I'm going to tell you my little story. It's the year 2006, and I'm in my bed, lying back on the pillows, and the phone rings. My mobile phone's next to me, and I pick it up, and I can hear my cousin on the phone talking to me really quickly, but there's a panic in her tone. So I sit up, and I'm like, what's wrong? And she says to me, Mummy's crying. And I said, what? Mummy's crying? I've never seen my mother cry. My mother is crying. And she says, yes, she's sitting in the living room and she's crying. She's silently crying. Now, when I heard that, I got up immediately. I just knew I had to get to Stoke Newington in London, about 50 minutes away from where I am. And I don't know how I got to the bathroom. I just went through the mechanics. I got dressed. I jumped in the car. I focused on moving from A to B because I didn't want to get into any accidents. And I just drove as effectively and as efficiently as I could to get to the address. So I get there and I take out my key and I open the door, and facing me is the passageway. And I walk in, and to the right is the door to the living room. And I walk in, and there's my mum sitting there. And she's crying. There's a gentleman to the left, two gentlemen, and my mum's there crying. So I say to my mum, what's wrong? Like, there's just silence. Like, what's wrong? No answer, nothing. Then one of the guys gets up and he says, look, can I speak to you? And I said, okay. So he comes out into the passage and he closes the door behind him. He says, would you like to sit down? And I say, no, just tell me what's going on. I'm panicking inside now, right? Because this is a very unusual scene. Like, just tell me what's going on. So he says to me, I'm really sorry to tell you this, but your sister has passed away. As he says the words, I'm the second eldest of 11 children, 6 girls and 5 boys. And as he says the words, my brain is trying to compute what he's just said to me. And I'm thinking, okay, my sister's passed away. Is it Sister Sonia? Because I have a sister who has bipolar. I thought, has she overdosed on her tablets or something? Like, what's happened? And this is what's going on in my brain, right? It's frantic. And while he's talking, I'm like, what happened, right? Which is the next question. What happened? And he says, well, she was found hanging. I'm like, what? Now I'm kind of like, what are you talking about? Then he says the name, and the name wasn't the name that I was thinking. It was my sister that was younger than that. And he says to me, your sister Francine, has passed away. She was found hanging in the Portugal airport toilets. And as he says the words, this is what happened. This scream came from the pit of my stomach. It traveled up and out. And my body dropped to the ground. My body dropped to the ground, yet I remained where I was. I'm looking at myself on the ground and I'm wriggling like this. And I hear the officer say, hold her head, hold her head, hold her head, hold her head. But I'm where I am and I'm looking at myself. And where I am, there's this peace, there's this calm, there's this feeling of oneness, this feeling that I'm bigger than who I am. But how can that be? Because my body's on the floor. I don't understand, right? And it seems as if I'm there for maybe a minute or so. And then I snap back into my body and I jackknife up. And I'm like, tell me what happened. And I go into Valerie mode, right? Got to sort out everything, etc. And, you know.
So you can certainly see, I don't know how far she was away because I was getting dressed. I'm going out for dinner. Going to leave you guys to it. I'm going to come back in a few minutes, but you can certainly see that is one. I don't know how far she's through this story, but when I listened to it, I thought that is one hell story to go through. Anyone that's gone through anything to do with suicide, it's just a real hard pill to swallow, and that's why I've done the video on contemplating suicide. If you go into my YouTube channel, you'll find it. I got a professional that come along and gave you some practical steps that you could do if you were feeling that way. All right. I'm going to let her talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to carry this on later. It'll probably be late at night. Do you have a good time? All right. See you in a few minutes.
I don't tell you this story because, you know, it was 2006, and yes, I feel it when I express it.
Did you notice that I had disappeared for about 2 hours? It's my new thing, pausing, stopping, and splicing together. If you didn't know, I hate editing. But I just went out for a lovely meal, Indian, and I work one day a week with a mate of mine, and he took us out for a Christmas meal together. So that's what I've just done, and I'm back. And we're back to Valerie. Valerie. Okay, let's see. I hope I have the same enthusiasm I did before I darted out for dinner. Let's see. Right. Go on, Valerie. Carry on.
But as I got through the episode, you know, my sister died on the 1st of August. Her birthday was on the 14th of August. We buried her on the 31st of August. Very significant month. And so after I had gone through the business of hiding the grief and just getting on with things, I parked up one day and I thought about that moment. I thought, what was that about? And I realized that, you know, we're often told in life that your spirit, we're spiritual beings, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. But what I actually realized that day is that our spirit is not in our body. Our body is in our spirit.
Ooh, deep.
And when I was wriggling on the floor, it was almost like someone had taken fish out of water, and the fish was unconnected to its source, so it's flapping. And that's what I was doing. I was flapping. I was looking at myself. But the moment I connected back to my source, back in the spirit,
Teriyaki sauce. Just saying.
All of a sudden had life, and I jackknifed up again. So the reason I tell you that story is
So you sign up for
for
a
you to
Ponzi scheme.
understand that you are an unlimited being. You're not limited. Yes, you have a physical body and it has its limitations, but you are spirit. You're unlimited. There is no end. You know, in the word it says,
The word? We're going back to the Bible again. I'm having flashbacks of my upbringing as a Jehovah's Witness. New World Translation, move over.
I am the Alpha and the Omega.
I think it's John 1:1, maybe. Oh, that's scary, I know that.
We're made in his image.
Image of a scammer. That's who we're made of. Is that right, Valerie? Scammers now, we'll all come back as scammers. Do to others as you want done to yourself. It's a good scripture. Is that a scripture? I think so.
One. And what I got from that is that I am one with all that exists.
Oh, this is so deep, so meaningful. Make sure that you sign up for HyperNation. Can you imagine this stuff? I mean, this ordeal this lady's been through is not the normal ordeal, and it's shocking. But she is now preaching a message to people in the Zoom room, 1,800 people, and she's telling them that she's a good person. She's got a soul, she's got a heart, but she wants you to sign up for a Ponzi scheme. She wants you to become part of her community. This is what this lady's telling you. And she'll do anything it takes. Inconceivable, I say. Inconceivable.
I am one with all that exists. You are one with all that exists. We're all connected, every single one of us.
Not connected to you.
We're all connected. And the thing is, when you think that way, doesn't that shift your perspective? Doesn't that shift the way that you see things? You see, what I do to you, I'm doing to myself. What I do to Tracy, I'm doing to myself. What I do to Jackie, I'm doing to myself. What I do to Angela Baptiste, I'm doing to myself.
This is where they build up to the climax and they get themselves going and they get all charismatic and they're on the stage and the audience is sitting there and they're all flexing in and out and it's all good stuff.
What I do to Denise, I'm doing to myself.
Oh, she's in the same boat as you, but she's not though, is she really? Because she's on the Titanic going down with the ship and you guys have all jumped off onto the life rafts.
You've heard it said, to give is to receive. Why is that? Because the moment you give, you receive.
She's got a gift for you. She's going to tell you all about HyperNation. Oh, it's going to be good. You put your money in and you put your left foot out. Oh, that's a hokey dokey. I get that wrong.
Because we're all connected. I am one with all that exists.
Actually, I don't know if you've ever been tasered, Valerie, but that's connected with the policeman. Carry on.
I am abundant. Why am I abundant? Because I am one with all that exists.
You're off.
And when you have that understanding that you are abundant, then you know the only thing that separates you from the abundance are your beliefs. It's your mind. You see, this is why you have to keep on working on breaking through those cobwebs of lies. Because it's only your beliefs that can limit you so far. But the more you come into the truth and the more you break them down, the more you have access to this unlimitedness. And so,
boom.
Recognizing that you're an unlimited being.
Unlimited. You are unlimited. I think we got some music for that. All right, wait there, Valerie. Did you know that you're an unlimited human being? There's no limit to your potential. You can have everything you ever want. Just sign up for HyperNation under Valerie's number. She'll make very clear at the end of this speech. Carry on, Valerie.
And that you're abundant. And you're in the nation.
The nation where Lots of people go who don't do due diligence. The place to lose your crypto. No more crypto. Go to the nation. I just told you the most heartfelt story that happened in my life. And now I'm preaching you a very important message about the nation. Ecosystem. The metaverse. Facebook laid off 11,000 people after spending $15 billion. $15 billion on trying to build the metaverse. Due to lack of interest, they decided to pull back their numbers a little bit and put it on hold for a while. But the nation, who's currently got no money left and is currently getting their money from selling NFTs, have decided they're going to continue taking on the challenge with your money. Anyway, it's been silly.
You're in the nation. How are you going to step into the nation?
I don't know. You tell me.
I have a WhatsApp group.
Oh, she wants you to become part of her community. No surprise there. You join in there, and Valerie will hold your hand. Now, there was a guy called Mike Lucas, right? And he struggled to get his money into the crypto universe so he could buy a membership plan. And somebody held his hand, and they took $2,000 off him. And then he could see his money every day growing, and he decided to take out his pension fund. And he put $25,000 of his pension fund. That was actually all his pension fund. You might have read about that. Well, watch the video in the New York Times. And then what happened is he realized he lost all his money, and he went back to the same people that got him into it. And he said to them, "Can you help me get my money out?" They said, "Change the record." "No way, mate. You're on your own." And they kicked him out.
It's called the Promised Land. The first group, I have two groups, in fact. One's called the 5 Loaves and the 2 Fishes because it was about multiplication.
Oh, that's biblical. That's rich.
And the second one, the current one, is called the Promised Land.
Oh, I must look that up. I'll drop this video in when I'm finished. The Promised Land and the 2 fishes. Something about fishes. That like Jesus when he broke the loaf and made the water into wine. That was a good thing.
And I encourage my team to walk
She has a team. I didn't know that. Imagine that. That's great.
into that with the mindset of abundance, with their mindset of unlimitedness.
Oh, it sounds so awesome, Valerie. It sounds like your dating career didn't work and you've now got yourself something that is working for you.
Don't be fearful of, don't have that grasshopper mentality. It's always about overcoming challenges and rising to greater heights.
Yeah, the fact that HyperVerse isn't paying out any money, that's a challenge. That's an obstacle that no one can overcome. Yep.
So really, it was kind of like when Whitney spoke earlier on.
Whitney, the blurry suckerfish lady, about 10 videos back from on my playlist. Yep, what about her? Oh, she was really sad, wasn't she? Set the tone for the meeting. That's right. Now you are carrying that tone on. That's great. She set the theme for the meeting.
And I had said to God last night,
Oh my God, talk to God. Please, God, help me be a good scammer. Let me convince people that I'm a good lady and a beautiful soul. And let me take their money to make me rich. Do to others as I want done to myself.
what do you want to talk to me about?
Hell, burning, fire, sulfur, Gehenna.
God is always my go-to person. And you may say, I like to say infinite intelligence sometimes. What would you like me to speak about?
The truth. Being a good person, not lying to people. You know, using your brain cell.
I'm his hands and feet. What do you want to channel through me? And
A spear.
I can see the synchronicity. I can see the dots connecting the dots. I had no idea that Whitney was going to come and speak about bereavement, but God said to me, share this story.
God, go, Jesus. Jesus Christ.
So Whitney, I love you, but no.
Oh, I love you too, Whitney. I'm the bully, the guy that bullies Whitney online. That's me.
Oh, that your dad, and he is your dad, is totally at peace.
He's not actually her dad. You weren't listening properly, Valerie. It was a guy that was kind of like her father, and she looked up to him like a dad. And what she actually said is she was going out with his son, and when they broke up, she still kept the relationship with her ex's father, and it was like a dad. Because if it was her dad, and she was going out with the son of her dad, that's called incense, and that's not a good thing for a good Christian girl, is it?
Totally at peace where he is. So guys, nothing is by accident. We're all connected. There is no separation.
I want to be separated from HyperVerse and HyperNation, and I don't want to invest any more money in Ponzi schemes. Right, guys?
The only thing that separates you is when you don't see the truth.
Oh my God, if you tell somebody that you have the truth enough times, eventually NLP training will kick in and people will think that she is the truth. Or she has to keep reassuring herself that she has the truth because she might be doubting her own self. I mean, the truth about a Ponzi scheme, what product or service is she going to introduce you to? A membership.
Sometimes you just got to shake yourself up, right? You got to shake it off and just come into the truth and own the truth of who you are. And I'd love to see you all do that as you step into the nation. Don't allow anyone to phase you.
Come
just
with
know
her.
and walk in the truth.
Let her hold
who
your
you are.
hand. Let her take you into the HyperNation. You've been sucked in.
That's me, guys.
Thank God for that.
Over to you, Jackie.
Oh, that was beautiful.
There are the haters, yes.
Oh, that's me. Oh, and this part, in case you're wondering, this is the exciting part because I didn't want to do a fourth video because it's starting to make me go a little bit loopy. So I tagged the good question and answers onto the end of Valerie, Valerie. And we've got some really good questions. There's a couple of really good ones. Apparently, I'm one of the haters.
But you know what?
What?
In my life, I feel sorry for the haters because
Thank you.
you know what? They're not hold.
No, I'm not hold. What's hold? Speak Kiwi.
And because of God's love in me, I pray for people like that.
Thank you. Please do not pray for me. In fact, my mother said to me once that she prays for me. And she's been praying for me ever since I was born. And I said to my mother, I don't ever want you to pray for me because I don't want to be part of your horrible cult religion. She doesn't talk to me anymore.
Because they're not whole. And we are thankful that God has made us whole.
Oh, praise Jah. Bring God into a Ponzi scheme. Really? There's a lot of good people in religion. But what does it have to do with money and greed? Don't get me started. I think you've got me started. You're responsible. You brought me in here. I can't get out of the box.
That we are able to give back.
Give back.
Give back to community. And be able to share of whatever wisdom God has given us. And yes, Whitney, God speaks. He speaks to us all the time. Are we paying attention to what he's saying? So I'm on the plane there and God says to me, why are you crying as though there is no hope? He is with me.
Jesus.
It's like we who believe that there is a God, we make this place our home.
Oh, Coach Whitney Smart's getting into it this time. She's stopped crying.
As though this is the finality of where we're
Finality.
supposed to be. But we are supposed to be living a life to prepare for that afterlife. Because after we leave here, it's not done. But it's important how we live here right now.
Because you're all going to hell. Anyone that's promoting HyperVerse, HyperFund, HyperCosmo, HyperNation, HyperCapital, Colin Star Group, anything like that, you're all going to hell. There's no doubt about it. If you're Christian people, you might as well start digging the hole now. Just want to say, Mr. iPhone, which is the guy in the bottom center, if you are watching this, can you make contact with me, please. Go to deheck.com. You are a hero. The question that you asked this group is just awesome. And I want to make contact with you. Actually, I wouldn't mind interviewing you because I don't even believe that you're really invested in this. You asked that question that everyone wanted to. And you watch when he does, which hasn't happened yet. Remember, 45 minutes ago, Coach Whitney was bawling her eyes out. And then all of a sudden, as soon as she mentioned anything about the HyperNation, they go into machine mode. They go into business mode and they tell you all the pros and cons. They know the system inside out, which actually shows me that these guys are just doing a circus performance to win you over. And then they will tell you how this scheme really works. And they are well-educated, well-oiled machines. All right, let's carry on.
Impact that we make on the lives of others. One of the things I ask myself, Denise, when you leave here, what will people say about you?
You're a dirty, rotten scammer.
Did you impact the life of others?
You certainly did. You ripped them off and took their money, made them cry, and some of them lost their life savings. That's what they'll say.
So to me, it's important to make a difference.
You made a difference. No doubt about that.
And the mere idea you guys giving of your time,
it's so nice of them to give their time. Just think about it. If you gave them $1,000, they're going to pocket 200 straight away, even before you walk out the door.
It's not going to go unrewarded. Because
no, you get rewarded with money, USDT, don't you, kids? Can't fool me.
God sees, and there are so many spiritual people here. So many spiritual people on this platform. I have been on so many different platforms, and this one, it's the best.
She was saying that about the other one last week, wherever that was.
It's like I'm here and I'm saying there's so much love.
No, I can't stand you guys. No love here. No love here. Don't love you. Don't even like you. And I think you smell.
And honestly, I don't know how people live without God, because
oh my God, what's this got to do with God? Leave God out of this.
If I didn't have God, I'll be totally lost.
I am lost.
And the tongue, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
I just want to talk about a topic
This guy's good, worth listening to. If you've just tuned in, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell, and you'll be notified when I post more stuff about Ponzi schemes. Makes all the difference with the algorithm if you do that. And this guy asked the best question of the day, and that's why I put the question and answer in here. So let's ask a logical question and watch Brittany get into game mode.
Been bothering and scaring me and my investor friends. And that's just crypto overall. Crypto, we're kind of in a bit of a storm. We had the recent FTX challenge. And when I look at HyperNation, I think the opportunity really is life-changing and it can make...
He must be shitting me to say that. I don't think this guy's for real. I don't think he's got any money in it. I think, because why would you have the name iPhone? He reckons he's going to change that next week, but he won't be on here next week. I reckon he looks like some sort of reporter or a YouTuber taking the piss out of them. Just saying.
It can give so many people freedom and abundance and choice. So I think what would help me and help some of my investor friends, and I wonder what you all think about this.
This will be good.
Is if there are ways to demonstrate some transparency about the health of the business, some that FTX did not do. For example, if there are ways to share with members, revenue or profit or sources of income.
Are you shitting me? Do you think they'll do that? What if they're going to do that? Why don't they open the books on HyperVerse? That'd be a great idea. See where the money went. See where the $4 billion went. The 1.5 million people, if they put $300 each in, is actually $4 billion worth of money. Where did that money go? And you want to see the ledger?
Those kinds of things will alleviate some of the fears, because everyone always thinks that the money's coming from new investors.
There's a reason why we think that, because it's a Ponzi scheme. They don't have a product or service. Mark Zuckerberg has given up on building the metaverse, laid off 11,000 people. I know you heard me say that like 15 minutes ago, but a lot of people jump to different sections of the video because they go into the description and click on the timestamps, and they wouldn't have heard me say that earlier. Now, if Mark Zuckerberg has given up on it and rolled back 11,000 staff, then why does this company here that's struggling to even return the money to people that have lost their money when they say they're going to, why are they struggling to do that If they got the same budget as Facebook, they're one of the biggest companies in the world. This is just a Ponzi scheme, cash grabbing. These people are scammers. All these people, a lot of these people in this very room have invested $10,000 on a purple NFT, so they have the right to take over their down and up lines and all that sort of carry on.
That's everyone's fear, that eventually that pool will run out. If it comes from new investors, 6 months down the road, it's going to run out. So I think if there are ways to validate that this business model is effective and is sustainable, and that there are multiple sources of revenue, that it will generate profit for years to come, that's going to really help people have more trust.
If you look at the history of the company, right back to Bitcoin Group, then Colin Starr, and then Hyper Capital, and then Hyper Fund, and then HyperVerse, and then HyperNation, and then HyperCosmos, certainly they've had a lot of practice at making a sustainable business, and there's no real reason why this wouldn't turn into a sustainable business, especially since all those renames and rebrands and rinse and repeats Ponzi schemes never did have a product or service and solely relied on membership money to survive. You're right on the money. This is sustainable, this business. Is it a business? Oh, and by the way, who owns it? Who runs it?
So I wonder what you all think about that. And sorry it's not as vulnerable as your topics here. I really appreciate all that you shared.
Sarab, no, that's your
Go, Whitney. Tell them how it is. Tell them how educated you are. Where's your blurry face gone?
name. No, for sure. And I can answer this very succinctly for you.
Here it is.
So the main source of income for HyperNation is the sale of NFTs on OpenSea.
This is crap. This is so crap. This is a cash grab, the NFTs. Worthless NFTs. People can purchase them. Yay. That's where they're getting their money from at the moment to keep feeding these VIP 7s, 6, 5s.
So that was so before HyperNation even was open to us as independent members for us to buy our yellow boxes or the platinum box or the purple box, the first thing that the company did is they funded the source of the project, which is through NFTs. That was the...
No, they didn't actually, Courtney. You are wrong, because I've been watching this just as long as you have. They ran out of money. There was a big amount of money that moved out of HyperVerse into someone else's account. Then they went and did a massive billboard campaign around the world, and they spent all that loot on doing a billboard advertising, hoping that people would buy NFTs. And yes, of course, advertising does work. It's proven. And they bought a whole lot of NFTs. And now they have leftover money from HyperVerse, which they're not paying out to their HyperVerse members. And they've also sold a shitload of useless, worthless NFTs. And as far as I'm aware, I think you might have paid $10,000 for a purple NFT, which means that you're really invested in this now, and you have to get your money back by selling memberships to people. So now you're going to tell us another bullshitty story about where they got their money from selling NFTs. Is not quite correct. That's just keeping this going as long as they can so they can milk all the milk out of the cow.
Sale of all of our Hitchhiker of Star NFTs. So all of the big billboards and everything that you see, the big media, parade that the company is on right now across countries all over. I mean, they've been here in Canada. They've been all over the US. They've been all over Europe.
How come Tracy's face is blurry now? I think she's got her software all stuffed up. It's what come first, the chicken or the egg, isn't it, really? And she's saying that the egg was first. No, the chicken, I don't know. But she's saying that the money's all come from these NFTs. So what happened to the $4 billion? Kalpesh Patel, who I chat to actually on WhatsApp every now and again, if you're watching this, Kalpesh, thank you for doing that. He did ask that big question, where is the $4 billion gone?
I think they're going down to Africa. Like I've seen, they've been listing where they're going, but they have been advertising the sale of Hitchhiker of Star NFTs. So in other words, the money that is funding our project, right? The source of that income is the sale of those NFTs. And that's something that can be verified on the blockchain. So you can literally go to
verified on the blockchain. I heard this before, and I'll just say before she says it so you absorb the information she's saying. You can go on to see whatever it's called and see all the transactions of people buying these NFTs, and that's meant to give you authenticity. Do you know why that is? Because you can see the money going from one crypto wallet to another one, and that's meant to give you credibility that it's real. Okay, and that's great, because if I went and bought one today, yes, you would see my crypto wallet address and you would see it going to another crypto wallet address. But who's at the end of that chain? Do you know? And this is Pixel. Pixel. He's grown up a lot. He's now 7 months old. And if you've been watching my YouTube channel, you would have seen Pixel when he was a little wee baby. And he's so cuddly. And he's my big boy. Isn't he, Pix? Yeah, look at him. He doesn't like the lights. Yeah, hey. Anyway, let's listen to what she's got to say.
See, and you can literally go to Hitchhiker of Stars and you can look at every single person that has purchased an NFT, because everything is recorded on the blockchain. So that's one way that you can verify, like, hey, this is actually going to real individual people and not, let's say, a whole bunch of us that are just in HyperNation, right? Like, you can literally go through and track on BSC scan, which is Binance Smart Chain scan, or Ethereum scan, or Tron scan, any one of those. So you can go to tronscan.org.
Mr. iPhone's nodding like this. I reckon he's a YouTuber trying to get some information. Hasn't she changed her tune? If you watch my video of the blurry fish, suckerfish lady on the 26th of November, she was in tears for most of this meeting. And all of a sudden, she just forgot about all her sorrows, and she's explaining how wonderful HyperNation is and how authentic it is.
BSCscan.org, EthereumScan.org, and you can literally take the addresses that you see on OpenSea and you can throw them in there and then just validate, did this in fact actually happen? And the other great thing about OpenSea is that all transactions there are public on the blockchain, and they can also be verified through Ethereum. So you can't like say that you purchased something that you didn't actually purchase. You have to have had the funds in your account in order for you to purchase it. So when people, and that's a great question, because I actually thought that everyone knew that. I thought that when the project started that everyone understood that the way that HyperNation is funded is not through Bitcoin like HyperVerse was. So when people were saying, well, what's going to make sure that
Hold it a minute. Did she just say what I think she said? She said HyperNation, people think that HyperNation was funded through Bitcoin. It was funded through people using the USDT to buy a membership. And it was funded by selling people a dream that they would get 3 times their return on investment in 600 days. It was also promoted by people who were receiving 52% of the money that everyone put in went back to the people who were promoting it.
Nation doesn't fall apart, whereas HyperVerse did because of the market. It was because of the value of Bitcoin, right? Which was what?
No, because it fell over before that. And this is just a dumb excuse. I heard a good saying the other day that you may have heard of, but when the tide goes out, you can see who's been swimming naked. And that's exactly what the drop of crypto done. And also the creating of multiple accounts that by bots was the other reason. But if you go back to Charles Ponzi and listen to the history of these Ponzi things, they don't exist because it's mathematically impossible. If you go to my website, go to heck.com, there's a blog in there that talks about what is a Ponzi scheme, and it's exactly this. And that's why I'm so rampantly exposing these people. I'm out to name and shame any of these bastards that are in here teaching people how to scam. These are leadership meetings. All these people in here have made money by selling memberships to people, knowing that they're going to lose their money.
Which was what that project was based off of. HyperNation is not based off of Bitcoin. It's based off of the purchasing of NFTs, and that money is ours. Like once that NFT is purchased, that fund, that money is put in our pool for us as members to then purchase our memberships and do all the fun things that we're doing. And for those of you that are into DeFi, I really hope you've been paying attention to the liquidity mining. If you know anything about liquidity mining, you can't have a liquidity pool if there's no money, right? Like
Valerie's got a blurry face.
They have to fund the
Tracy's got a blurry face.
Liquidity pool first in order for
Jackie's got a blurry face.
It to grow and give the returns that it's giving. And so they're creating other streams of income for us.
Tracy's got a blurry face.
On top of just having an NFT, which is valued now, I think.
But the blurry suckerfish lady won't shut up.
For those of us that bought our yellow boxes, I believe that pretty much from the time that we bought our yellow boxes, the value had gone up to about 700 USD, and we're expected it to go over 1,000 USD by the end of.
Surely the iPhone guy isn't really a investor. I reckon he's a YouTuber trying to take the piss out of this group. Good on you, mate. Contact me. I want to have a yarn to you. You're a hero. Great question. And notice he couldn't get a word in edgeways once Whitney decided to get into it. She does look like a suckerfish lady, though, doesn't she?
The year. So that's how it's maintaining its value. It's not based off of
maintaining its value. Don't worry, they're going to build a metaverse. Mark Zuckerberg, he couldn't afford to do it, and he spent $15 billion. So why do they think there's a few people who are dumb enough to carry on investing in this Ponzi scheme are going to be able to afford to build a metaverse? And what is a metaverse anyway? It's a friggin' game that you put a friggin' headset on. I don't want to be in one of those. I want to be out in nature, walking up hills and taking Pixel for a walk. You know, that's what I want to do. I don't want to have my head stuck inside a virtual metaverse.
A token like Bitcoin. Where
what are they actually selling here? What is it, a dream of get rich, or is it a dream of a better world and a digital nomad thing? It's just stupid. The whole thing's stupid. I feel like shaking these people and going, look, here's $50. Piss off. You know, that's all. Thanks for the money. Oh, I'm going to go spend it now.
If the value of it goes down, like everything falters. They learned from the HyperVerse project. They
Coach Whitney stopped crying now, isn't she?
took everything that was good about it. They kept all of those same good parts, which
they took the sales team from HyperVerse, moved them over to HyperNation, and left everyone that invested in HyperVerse with no money.
was the membership program, which was the rewards that were given out, the rebuys that were allowed to do. All of those things were kept, and then they amplified and they made better anything that wasn't working well, like the fact that we had to take our funds and put it on the Who exchange in the past. Now we don't have to do that.
Well, the Who exchange gone belly up, didn't it? And didn't Ryan Zhu? Hey, if you want to find out where Ryan Zhu is, he's on my Facebook page. Go into my shorts, you'll love it. I've caught him sucking. I got a photo of him the other day in my community area. You'll see a photo of Ryan Zhu crying. I mean, it was on his birthday, allegedly. That's what they told me. And the informant wants me to sign an NDA, and then they'll supply me more information about his whereabouts. How about that? But have a look at the one with the vacuum cleaner. Classic. Really sucked.
We can swap it out in MetaMask. We don't have to worry about putting it on there, waiting for someone to buy it and all of that.
Well, if you don't have to worry then, Coach Whitney Smart, then why are you still in this group? What are you waiting for? What are you hoping for? It's just a waiting game of shame, and it's just disgusting. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to stop. I have to stop. Have I showed you the picture? Have you looked at the picture? Isn't it gorgeous? Look, I even got a kiss on the cheek from Valerie. It's a gorgeous picture. I'm really happy with that one. There I am. Look at that. Good looking guy. Yeah. Okay, come on, suckerfish lady.
We can literally get our funds swapped out immediately and send it on to whatever wallet we want. So
life is going to be good.
Just stay plugged into training.
Yep, go to the training.
The one thing I would say, continue to come to the
stay in the group. 90% of people in here are brainwashed. The other 10% are getting brainwashed. Which one are you?
Technical trainings. Andrew and Jackie and Val, like everyone does an amazing job of talking about like some of these things. So just continue to come. Have your members who have their memberships, have them continue to come to training and just stay plugged in. And that's really what we're saying in this training too. It's all about your perspective. If you stay plugged in, you get the right information.
I just hate this. I mean, you might think that I'm a bit weird. Well, you're right. But you try watching over 100 of these videos and try to keep normal. We'll take this seriously. This is just like kindergarten, stupid lies. It's like a Chinese whisper story. And honestly, if you really want to get a good laugh, go to the last video I did, which I don't know if I can bring up without losing you. Let's have a look. Yes, here. Go onto my YouTube channel and go down to Kyle, because it is brilliant. He's basically gone in there and basically shown them. He's basically, what am I trying to say? Jesus, mate, don't interrupt the man. Goodness me. I love it. One of my best videos for a long time, but here he is talking about the HyperCosmos, which is how they are trying to reward people who have lost all their money in HyperVerse. In the meantime, HyperCosmos runs parallel with HyperNation, and you can switch between HyperCosmos and HyperNation. You can keep doing that until your money runs out, and you can just keep exchanging your Bitcoin, well, not Bitcoin, it's just a token, from HyperBond to whatever Hyper something the coin that you use in HyperNation hasn't even been on it's not even on an exchange. None of these coins are on any exchanges. It's like playing a game of Monopoly. I'm getting off track, aren't I? Okay, I'll carry on now.
If you're going to the official channels, the right ways, you're going to get the right information. Like, it's a Ponzi. They're waiting for the new people to.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
It's like, no, guys, the funding of this project is from the sale of NFTs to the open public market.
Open seas. Is that what it's called?
Not with the funds that people have coming into the project.
It lies. It's exactly what it is. It's exactly the opposite to what she said it is. There's no doubt about it.
No pressure, no pressure.
I will always stand flat-footed and firm and say unequivocally.
This is when she was having a prayer at the end. It was absolutely crap.
That there's no place like this place, any place near this place. So HyperNation is in fact the place.
Oh my God, that's great. This Dr. J used to be a lady of the night, I heard.
God bless you. Thank you so much.
Bless you, Dr. J.
I love you.
Another minister. It's like Novatech Group. You know, they've been investigated by the feds, as they say, because the lady who ran that and the guy were both bankruptcies and they had made unfalse statements. And now they're getting, and that's why I'm out to name and shame these guys. I literally have a database of people that I'm collecting. If you go back to here, you can see this is what I've got on Valerie so far, and I keep all the information, all the screenshots that you guys give me. If I go back to my scamdemic list, you'll see on the left-hand side, I've got HyperNation, HyperVerse HyperNation. I've got Lunar ones, wewe.Global, Novatech, Stable.Limited, which is Sam Lee's, Stable Fund, V99, which is, and then I've got all these people here like Carl, Stephen Millen. This guy here is a laugh. He's published, I reckon, 1,100 blogs about me because he doesn't like me. He claims that he's getting interviewed by Forbes magazine at the moment, you know, and so I've just got libraries of information about all these scammers. I need your help. I need you to submit information via my website. Go to theheck.com. Click on my contact page, submit away, and I build a database up. This information is going to be given to the right people who will be submitting this information to the right people to get these people off the streets, and I need your help. Dave Cole, he's a guy promoting Super One. Been building up information about him, all these photos, anything I can, home addresses, phone numbers, email addresses, any form of contacts. That's what I'm after, and I need your help. So, and also, not only that, I take it a step further. I can give you guys a link where I can actually share the copy of the information. You can see actually what I've got built up, and it's absolutely brilliant. So make sure you do subscribe to the YouTube channel and do all that sort of stuff. Let's hear the end of the meeting before I get carried away.
I love you guys.
We love you too.
I love you too.
I love you, Dr. J. Thank you.
Dr. J.
Oh. Oh.
That's them finished for the day. Hey, that wasn't so bad. That was like three videos, all on November the 26th. Hope you liked the bit at the end. Hope you didn't mind me getting a bit carried away and a bit passionate, but I've been doing too many of these videos, and hope you didn't notice a wee bit in the middle when I went out for dinner for 2 hours and come back and finished this off, but it was been a blast. So remember, help me help you, and that's by hitting the thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that bell so you're notified when my new videos come out. Please comment on these videos. When you watch this video, what do you think? You know, do you get excited and you think this is a good opportunity? Give me some feedback. Love it. Absolutely love it. No comment too small, no comment too large. I reply to everybody. That's what I'm doing. I'm Danny DeHeck. I'm AKA the Crypto Ponzi Scheme Avenger, and I just striked again. Valerie. Oh, Valerie. Valera. Valera. And you guys thought I couldn't sing. How about that? All right, I'm going to press play. Stop. Push play. What did I say that for? All right. Have a good evening, night, morning, wherever you're watching this from. Be safe out there.